at the New Eureka Poets Cafe. It is that time for me to say, I'm just so happy that you've come this way. My name is La Bruja, and I will be your host today. Yes. I started my career at the open mic at the New Eureka Poets Cafe. I love it so much. I believe in it so much. I believe in all of you. If any of you out there are aspiring poets, I like to say that it's never too soon and it's never too late. So don't debate or procrastinate. Just write it down like you just can't wait, because what you say just might be great. That's what I like to say. I also like to say that there is nothing you can write that is wrong. That's why it's called right. So before you prejudge yourself and write nothing, just get it outside of yourself. It's really so therapeutic. Certainly, poetry saved my life. I'm born and raised in the boogie down Bronx, and I've seen some shit in the middle of New Eureka over here. Been through things too. And that saving grace has always been creativity and poetry. So, welcome, welcome, welcome to my New Yo fam. I'm putting the list in the chat. There it is. Thank you for being with us. Um, Thank you to our sponsors. And yeah, we've got a beautiful list of performers. If it's your first time, you let me know. You know, if it's your first time ever, let me know. And I will sing the Pop the Cherry song for you. Induct you into the house of New Yo. This is my book, The Poetician. I self-published this in 2010. I think it's only available on Amazon through like Kindle or whatever. But I'm gonna read a little joint out of this one, an oldie but goodie. And because if you ever saw me on Def Poetry Jam, I did this poem called Lola, and it was about a drug addict, street worker in Hunts Point. But then I wrote Paco, and this is the another story from Hunts Point, and it goes like this. Paco el flaco, half Mex, they called him Taco. Pobre fulano, chico that none of y'all know, but I do. He's mad cool and quiet. He suffers from the internal riot. Mad if he ain't high yet, but he tries to keep it in. Plays a game that he can't win. So smart, but so oppressed. Not a time when he ain't stressed from the society that binds him and tears that cut and blind him. He longed to be a superstar with dreams that reached to Mars, but scars for stars, windows with bars, all these fancy cars. But he ain't got none, not one. Just tons of dreams and constant schemes, busting big deals, sporting polo that he steals from that mine with 16 wheels that parks right off Hunts Point to pay for puss and puff a joint. Between the month and on a Friday, rocks get knocked back on the highway. All in between, Paco and team take the shit, they got the flyway. And I can't blame him, can you? Poverty means no more school for troubled bros that can't keep cool. Eyes on backs for fools with tools, cause city life is hungry, cruel, constant fight, day and night. Pass the nights by playing pool, sniffing cane to numb the pain. The sensational insane stopped the riot in his brain long enough to say sweet stuff as he kissed and called my name. Made out my mate. What you want? A lot. Poppy, all that I ain't got. I like the way you shine. A kiss from me and you'll be mine. Hot rosy cheeks that fill with wine. You say that all the time. Oh, but I mean it. I am Mars and you are Venus. Not even Earth could come between us. Shine by me and we'll go far, cause mommy, you're beside a superstar. And in that moment, a star he was. I forgot the illegal shit he does, cause his dreams in time glistened in his eyes, and I loved him for his quiet cries. We puffed some lie and said goodbyes. with weighted hearts of ghetto size. Happiness some stars do bring. Paco, keep safe, man, and do your thing. That's what we're about to see. We're about to see everybody up on this list do their thing. So here we go. We got Michael Sindler up first, and then from the Boogie Down Bronx as well, Rosalind Diaz. Let's go, Michael. Go, Michael.
Oh, hey there, folks. I can't believe I'm first. I guess that's my prize for spending 3.5 hours clicking and clicking and clicking on the thing as it glitches. I'll just try and get a few little shorties in here. I happen to notice Brian Eno's got a new thing, this set of all his film music. So I was thinking about that. So pulled out this. It's called Merge. Everything merges with the night, or so Brian Eno says. I've come to think that he's right. Everything merges with the night. Truth fades, disappears from sight. Ignorance leads into a maze. Everything merges with the night, or so Brian Eno says. And just looking at Generalissimo's background and knowing how you love those food things, I'm going to throw this one. It's called Vegetables. Hadn't even looked at this one in ages. I just thought about it. Fresh vegetables, possibilities abound in combination, soup, salads, main courses, any cuisine possible. Across land and sea and land, hunger inside all beings, eat or be eaten. Both, all become something's food. Now vegetables become mine. Even plants must eat. Root systems suck nutrients, carbon ingested, oxygen spit out as waste, photosynthesis diner. Bacteria too, microbes devour giants one cell at a time, transforming matter into meal, endless, relentless hunger. Solidified stone crumbling under lichen becomes fertile soil, nutrients drawn into roots. After my demise, when body bereft of life dissolves into ooze, will I feed vegetables, thus balancing nature's scale? And one more little quickie, fairly quickie. This is based on a George O'Keeffe painting of a church outside of Santa Fe. It's called Hidden Jewel. Inviting opening between your thighs of clay, hidden jewel demands attention. You lean back in longing, thrust your steeple high. Slope-shouldered roof wraps and entraps, warms to devotion and ritual connection. In repose, heaving green, tufted, nurturing mounds surround, teeming with growth, a buttressed glen above your sacred valley. What response? What mystery? What ecstasy will unfold and rise with invocation, coat like morning's mist, sweet breath of rapture? What offering will serve to be laid at transept before the cross, to be consumed within curving chancel by spirit's hunger? Beating on the open door, the vigil before the holy wall, we wail within and without, to wait until salvation comes. It's actually Hernandez, New Mexico is where that particular church is. So now that I've set a very low bar, let's get on with the real stuff.
Okay, make it quick. We got 5 minutes. I didn't say that at the top, but everybody has 5 minutes to do their thing. So go ahead, go for it.
No, I'm done.
Oh, you're done. I thought
I'm just saying, I've set the bar low, so now everybody else.
No, Michael. No self-deprecation? No, never. Come on, man. You know you're dope.
Okay, well, it's always great to be here.
He opened it up. He opened it up. Okay, cool. Uh, don't you people know the brilliance? Don't you see what I see? You best. You gotta. You're all shining stars to me. Okay, speaking of shining stars to me, this lovely lady is someone that I've literally shared a mic with in the Boogie Down Bronx at the open mics.
Hi.
Hi.
How's everybody?
I think everybody's good. I know I feel good.
Good, good. I'm about to share brand new shit. I wrote this today. It's been hard trying to get on the list, but I wrote this just for today because I received the list and I realized I was number 2 finally. Okay. So here it goes. It's called Ex-Nay to the Poker Face. Here she comes again. Hurry, let's pretend not to hear her. But we can't. Everything about her is loud. Even with those red lips sealed tight, she doesn't need height to be tall. I bet her lips are stained with the blood from the sword that is her tongue. Boy, she's no fun because she doesn't pretend. She is not graceful when she speaks. Her words stray bullets with no name. She's not like us. What a shame. She doesn't pretend. She's got a big mouth, but a bigger heart. She would go very far if she'd just be quiet or have less to say. She's not an easy one to sway, and it's not okay. Damn it, why doesn't she pretend? The girl ruffles feathers everywhere she goes. Doesn't she know silence keeps the peace, they say? But tell me, what good is silence if it'll maintain external peace but cause internal war? Sure, I'd keep quiet, but my integrity won't allow it. And my name fits me well, but it also be swell if I was named Justice. I will be a voice when I have no choice. And the only thing I can trust is that I'm glad that I can't pretend. End poem.
Oh, yes. Because you real, booby. Because you the realist. We keep it funky. I know, believe me, I feel you. I feel you. So many people, come at me in different ways and, to try to get me to STFU. And it's just not going to happen. It's just not, we trigger too many demons, but that's okay. Because that's what we do, to make them exercise their demons. All right. So, speaking of exercising demons, this warlock that's coming up is super entertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, give some love to Jeff Cottrell.
Hi, LaBruja.
You better stop.
How's the dog?
Pinky? Pinky's doing good. Pinky promised Chardonnay.
Oh, good. Pinky's a good one. So I've got some new old shit.
Oh gosh.
It's an old piece that I've kind of rejigged. And instead of a poem, it's an introduction to a poem. It's called Poem Introduction. So this is from my third book of poetry, which was published by Happy Jack Press in Neepawa, Manitoba in 1996, and titled, With Vulnerable Roses Do I Sweep the Curtained Walls. That's the title of the book, not the poem itself. The poem is called Flutter and the Heroes Bathe. I've structured this poem as a series of villanelles. For those who don't know what a villanelle is, it's a 19-line poem made up of 5 tercets and a quatrain, with 2 refrains and 2 repeated rhymes. The idea for this poem came to me sometime in the late 80s when I was vacationing in what was then West Berlin, but of course one would now refer to the entire city of Berlin due to Germany's radically changed political situation in the ensuing years. I was wandering around the Tiergarten, searching for the pond called Der Neue See, literally translated as the New Sea, yet I couldn't find my way out of the goldfish Teich area closer to the wall. It was a frustrating and embarrassing experience. I didn't know a lot of German at the time, so I didn't make much progress as far as asking for directions. I came upon this old tree. I believe it was near the Soviet War Memorial. I'm sure you know the one. And the tree was shaped like, I suppose you would call it a hexagonal cross-section. Truly a miracle of nature. And there was a bird up in the tree, and it was singing. It was a robin, and the robin's tune gave me the idea for this poem, because it reminded me of something Bertolt Brecht once said about a bird's mating song. I believe the exact words are, Ich spiele Fußball mit dem getrennten Kopf von Leni Riefenstahl. In other words, humanity's customs and laws and beliefs have changed over the centuries, but the birds are still here, virtually unchanged. It's a direct connection to history, and it's this direct connection that I wanted to express in this poem that I'm going to read to you right now. Oh, another fascinating thing about the Tiergarten is the history of the Siegessäule, or the Victory Column. The monument originally stood further east, more or less in front of the Reichstag, but the Nazis ordered the monument moved to its present location, merely because the Siegessäule blocked their view of the city. I mean, isn't that astounding? They tore down the monument brick by brick and reassembled it further away, the same way they did with the original London Bridge when they moved it to Arizona. It staggers the mind. I even wrote a haiku about it. For those who don't know what a haiku is, it's a traditional Japanese style of short form poetry consisting of 17 syllables, sometimes, though not exclusively, in 3 lines. But I was going to tell you about this poem, which once again is titled Flutter and the Heroes Bathe. Now, what I was trying to achieve in this poem is an embellishment and juxtaposition of many themes close to my heart, such as the yearning for peace of mind in times of war and social disruption, but also the fleeting spiritual wanderings of youth when confronted by the futility of worshiping physical beauty, as well as the agonies of the downfall of pride and vanity. I believe, truly, it was all best expressed in Michel Foucault's essays about spatial relationships in literature. Now, I'm not going to stand here recounting all of Foucault's ingenious spatial theories for you, as I'm sure we're all familiar with them, and it would waste valuable time, and we'd never get to my poem, in which, incidentally, I was going for a sort of William Blake feel, particularly in the use of metaphysical metaphors and gustatory imagery, and yet I also wanted to evoke the spirit of Rudy Weeb, as I've always admired his depictions of the Native American perspective. I remember the first time I read The Temptations of Big Bear. My lord, I must have been 17, and I swear the book changed my life. It made me see our North American heritage in a completely different light, far more powerful than Dances with Wolves. Well, on with my poem. Flutter and the Heroes Bathe, Part 1 of 17. Flutter and the hero... What do you mean I'm out of time? Thank you. That was poem introduction.
You left us on the edge of our seats. Jeff Cottrell being a big tease. That's how I feel about Stephen King. That's my tone about all his writings. Was it Carrie? Was it Pet Cemetery?
All of them.
Maybe The Shining. Night Shift.
The one with a lawnmower.
Yeah. So many. Firestarter. Oh, I could go on and on. Cujo.
He's writing 30 more as we speak, you know. Man's a machine.
Thank you, Jeff Cottrell. Sounding so eloquent and verbose. I appreciate that always. The linguistics. Thank you, Jeff. Follow jeffcottrell.com, right? Isn't that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, I can put it in the chat and everything.
Yeah, put it in the chat, but make sure I said it for you, but if everybody coming up too, make sure you say it out loud because there's people watching on Facebook Live and YouTube, right, and they can't see the chat. So
jeffcottrell.com, and I'm easy to find on Facebook and Twitter, and I have some short fiction on wattpad.com.
Thank you. I want to give a shout out right now to our Monday night open mic host, Advocate of Words, who has joined us this evening. he wasn't feeling too well on Monday, so I was able to substitute for him the way that he has for me so many a Thursday night, and I just love him, and it's great to know that you're here. He's chopping it up in the chat because you already know. Jeff was triggering Advocate of Words because of poets having so many long intros, and that is a fact. So let us go now with Skylar Winter.
Hey everyone, great to be here.
Hello.
For having me. Well, I've got no intro. I'm just going straight in. This is new shit. I just wrote it yesterday, finessed it this morning because it's morning here in Australia. So here we go. It could be me, but maybe everyone can see, regardless of whether or not you have been to university, do or don't have a degree, or know how to research or reference properly, that politically things are just a teensy bit crazy. I like to think you will stand by me as I start questioning the viability of long-term stability in a country that has all it needs for self-sufficiency, yet repeatedly supports the insanity of closing down resource value-adding companies, nodding encouragingly as they close down infrastructure that indisputably needs to be kept operating despite the immediate sense of infeasibility, because surely, if they do it tough initially, strong foundations for long-term profitability and sustainability, not to mention market indestructibility, will be laid down so meticulously, we will eventually have no reliability on nations without credibility. We will come into our own magnificently, supporting, most importantly, a nation built on a bedrock of decency with all citizens treated decently, so that our capacity to provide not just equality, but equity will be unquestionably looked upon globally as a system warranting great scrutiny. Why would we not want to be encouraging all decision-making to come from a place of incubating a society unquestionably thriving, striving, deciding to allow only items fully inciting the abolition of all that's depriving us from mentally and physically thriving on any politically conniving agenda? Let me rephrase the question, because I've probably confused you with a thought that can't be referenced to research done meticulously by someone so much smarter than me. What the fuck is going on when a country resourced to the hilt is allowed to storm full tilt towards a cliff edge with no barriers built to stem the mass exodus of what's ours to be taken offshore by companies with no guilt? What the fuck is going on when infrastructure that keeps some of what's ours on shore is allowed to shut its doors for the sake of only $1? I mean, what the fuck is the point of being able to say we saved ourselves a buck when you then have a society chock full of human beings who are filled to full with suffering because they can't get off the hamster wheel of a madness that's gone global? And no, I won't give you facts and figures when it takes no brain to figure out what's plain to see from eyes steeped in mediocrity. No one needs a degree to understand the degree so many are suffering unnecessarily. We know what we are living experientially. So again, here is my question. What the fuck is going on in this country? Thank you.
Asking all the right questions, damn it. That's what I want to know. What the fuck? Thank you, Skylar.
Sure, I'm not quite sure if that applies in the US, but that's kind of how I feel about Australia at the moment.
What? You know it applies on this part of the world. I know you gotta know.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to assume though.
Thank you, Skylar. Keeping it real, 100 all the way from Australia. Can't beat that with bat. Okay, so let's see what Nick Paleologos is bringing to the room. Welcome, Nick.
What's up, La Bruja? What's up, everyone? How are we all doing today? Everyone good? Everybody feeling good, you know?
I don't know. Show of hands, everybody, if you're feeling good.
Ooh, I have new shit.
New shit! Do it, Nick.
This one is called Hollow. Oaks that is full of bravado, knock hard to hear the echo, look within and you won't even see the bone marrow It's just hollow. Just like you've always been, it's akin to the same people you have surrounded and kept the same energy within your skin, the eyesight. When the proverbial clock struck midnight, under the limelight, you see less trees and more parasite. As it eats away at the tree, the roots are gone, and you sucked it dry, clean, and free. The branches have staggeringly fallen to idiocracy, and worse than President Camacho, mixing up a falsetto for an allegro. When I left, loneliness I felt for 2 years that I have felt. I was beaten by a different kind of belt. As I knelt for it to stop begging for help, I prayed that I would have smelled roses rather than the rusty, burning blood I smelt. I sold the forest for what it's worth, and beneath the earth, the dirt, water, and oil blood spilled. No wonder we couldn't grow. It was really just a landfill. It's quite simple. Would you trade 2 cents for $300? I'm sure you would, but counting pennies is kindergarten mathematics that deserves no honors. I know you aren't perfect, and neither am I, but the forest that we grew up in has fallen out of line, and when it's time to move on, it wasn't supposed to be in the design. Here we are, though, in the vines of our own lives within the confines. You see, I can't rewind time to turn us into saplings. That would not be fair. It would bring back more despair. I'm not coming home. I'm not going wherever I may roam. The words we spoke to each other just fell back into the forest. There's other forests to explore, and I will always hold the memories that I cherished. But you can only burn the wood for so long until you get ashes, and you can only kindle a fire of memories for so long with only matches. The other forests call for me, and yours is calling too. They say something to you. The only thing I hear as you go towards it and follow isn't any words. It's just a hello that sounds hollow. In peace.
You better watch how you say hello to Nick, all right? Because
No hollow hellos, just gotta be hello or whatever, you know.
hey.
Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, one love for Nick. Doing his thing with the new shit, keeping it fresh, Okay, so let's see. Up next, who do we have but Joski C? Joski, you in the building, Joski?
Hola, Bruja.
Hey.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Always
Hey.
good to see you too.
Thank you. You know, speaking of exercising demons, got a little issue about the current, occupant of the White House, right? So this is some new shit. And I wrote this about all the people that voted to keep him in power, which really is kind of frightening. 70 million votes to kidnap children. 70 million votes to rape the earth. 70 million votes for a virus. 70 million lost their souls. 70 million dream of a dictator. 70 million wish to crown a king. 70 million votes for a despot. 70 million lost their hearts. These days, we're all losing. I'll lose my fucking mind. If I lose you, I won't stay behind. 70 million votes to kidnap children. 70 million votes to rape this earth. 70 million votes for a virus. 70 million lost their souls. However, I offer this song as partially an antidote. That's how I like to think of it. It's called Give Your Love Away. And when I think about this song, I hear like a New Orleans marching band in my head. So, whatever, horns, cymbals. I always do. Give your love away. You'll have more that way. This is why I say, give your love away. Put it on display. Shine the night away. Give it all away. You'll have more that way. Rain clouds over the mountain, weeping water fountain. My tears, hey, who's counting? Finally found a way. Now I say, give your love away. You'll have more that way. This is why I say, give your love away. Put it on display. Shine the night away. Give it all away. You'll have more that way. Rain clouds over the mountain, weeping water fountain. My tears, hey, who's counting? Finally found a way. And now I say, give your love away.
Yes, give that love away. Don't be no cheapskate.
That's
With your
it.
love.
That's it. You'll have more that way. It's a paradox. The more you give away, the more you'll have. That's just it.
It's very Tao. It's very zen. Thank you, Joski C.
Oh, thank you, Pruha. Love to everyone.
Mwah, yay.
And thanks to
I love-
everyone for the inspiration.
Just elevating that love frequency. That's what Joski does. And now we're gonna go and hear DG clearing.
The Bruja, how are you tonight? It's nice to be here.
Very well. Nice to see you.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is DG Clearing. I'm from Menasha, Wisconsin, just outside of Green Bay. I'd like to thank La Bruja and the Nuyorican Poet Cafe for allowing me to read tonight. I am truly honored. I'm going to read 2 poems for you tonight. It was Veterans Day this week. Please remember that every day is Veterans Day. There are women and men out there who are defending this country every day for you. This is how lucky we are. The sun is shining, a beautiful fall day. I'm making breakfast for my family. My mom was a soldier. She was in Iraq. I am very proud of her. Melanie, my beautiful wife, is at the kitchen table. She's home on leave. Mia and Emma are still in their pajamas. Looking at them all I can think is how lucky we are. They're laughing and giggling. She told me before she went that she was very proud of me. Out of the kitchen window, I can see a flock of turkeys in the backyard. She said that one day I would understand. That's why she had to go. There's 2 churches and a synagogue in our town. I don't belong to either. But people have the right to pray to their own God. She said, we have to protect what we have. COVID has spread across the world, so we don't get out as much as we used to. That's okay. There is plenty of food. She said, it should never be taken for granted, the rights and freedoms that we have. The kids go to school online now, but they're learning. Our local newspaper keeps us informed. My breakfast club gets together on Zoom once a week. We talk about everything. It gets pretty heated. She said that freedom has to be fought for. I bought a new shotgun this year. In a few weeks, deer hunting season starts. Mom passed a few years ago. She's buried next to Dad. The girls are going to go with me. He was a soldier too. I don't remember him. It will be Emma's first hunt. There's going to be some protesting downtown about the election. It's good people can say what they want. Mom was such a good grandma. She taught the girls all the things she taught me. Me and Emma want to be soldiers too when they grow up. I understand. Thank you. My second poem tonight. Every fall, and I take a trek to a truly magical place. This is about that place. This is Long Days Have Gone By. All the long days have gone by. The sun is down by 4:30. The Crex's magical wonders fill me. Standing waters of the marsh, wet meadows of the sedge, bogs filled with alder thickets, surrounded by ancient fern forests, with a canopy of tamarack, white cedar, and black ash. The sun is going down. Golden rays pierce through the clouds, setting as an array of peace and serenity. All that can be heard is the sound of the great migration. Millions of wings flutter in the sky. The music of birds fill the air, chirping and quacking, honking and singing, an orchestra of feathered majesty. The deep harmony of the cellos, a swan song. French horns, trumpets, tubas are the cranes, ducks, and geese. Violins pierce the sky with the raptor's cry. Piccolos and clarinets, the melodies of songbirds. Mother Earth is the conductor of this concerto. They all come to rest tonight, hundreds and thousands at a time, gliding and collapsing wings into the pond, in the water of life, protected from the peril. Filled with nourishment, they will fill the skies at dawn in this greatest movement of all time. Thank you. I appreciate it. So,
DG Clearing, everybody.
you know, where you can find me, this is where you can find me. Millions of America are facing food shortages and evictions right now due to job losses for the pandemic. Federal financial aid runs out at the end of this month. Please go to feedingamerica.org and help your neighbor so they can live in dignity with basic food and nutritional needs. Thank you for your kindness. Feedamerica.org. Thanks, everyone.
An advocate of humanity, DG Clearing, taking us.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing everybody.
Woohoo! Always giving a PSA when, instead of sending you to follow his thing, boom, go vote. And we voted. Now go, help people in need.
I'm glad everybody voted.
DG Clearing one more time.
Thank you.
Yes, people listen. See how powerful the word is? So powerful. So now let's hear from Mr. Speaker, James Sears. Oh, I see little baby overdose is in the house. Cutie. Hey, Mr. Speaker.
Hey, look at that baby. That baby is, oof.
That's a cute baby.
Yeah, it is. That baby's
like a Campbell kid.
So clearly this is the well-dressed section of the poetry for tonight, as I follow DG. And Veterans Day, shout out for Veterans Day as well. So I get in uniform here and give you this poem. The heart of a military leader. Have you ever stood strong when fear was all around? I mean, did you actually stand tall while others fell to the ground? Have you ever done what common sense said not to do, even when others ran and said, come on, man, don't be a fool? Has fear ever gripped you so tightly that you had to concentrate just to breathe? Look, I'm talking about the kind of fear that brings even the strongest men down to their knees. Have you ever had to remain calm and lead others to a safe place while fear was clouding your judgment and causing your heart to race? Have you ever been so engulfed by fear that 48 hours passed without you missing a single beat? Heck, almost went 3 days on just 2 hours of sleep. Have you ever thought this could actually be the last breath I take? Because see, there was death all around me with no room for error, absolutely no room for a leadership mistake. Have you ever been so frozen by fear that you just didn't know what to do? I have, but I had to go on because 237 soldiers were looking at me to lead them through. See, fear in the face of a leader, well, it could destroy the will of many people, while fear that goes unfaced could become deadly and extremely lethal. All right. Well, have you ever had to give an order for someone to do something that even you were afraid to do yourself? I mean, a command so crazy, you wouldn't do it for all the world's wealth. Have you ever had to send somebody out on a mission that you knew they might not complete? That would be one of those nights where this leader didn't get any sleep. Have you ever had to give CPR to someone who worked for you? Well, I worked on Specialist Sierra for about an hour, but he didn't pull through. Have you ever had to carry the body of someone who saved your life? The whole time I was thinking, what in the world am I going to tell his wife? Have you ever had to tell someone that her loved one was no longer alive? Trust me, you can actually see her heart breaking through the tears flowing from her eyes. Have you ever stood over a person who was dead due to an order you gave? Look, don't stand too close to the funeral because you might want to jump into his grave. Have you ever had to stand before a grieving family? Yes, it is completely sad. Their soldier gave his life for this country and all I had to give him back was a US flag. See, I'm a leader of soldiers because that is what I was called to do. And just for the record, I'm not telling you all this to prove anything to any of you because see, most people don't understand a true combat soldier, warrior, leader. Well, here's some insight for you late night poetry listeners and readers. How did you feel when the World Trade Center fell? The Pentagon got hit and those planes hijacked this soldier. This leader was devastated. Thousands dead on my watch. And it was my job to prevent that attack. See, you really don't understand the sacrifices we made for the armed forces. Heck, I missed birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, and been through a couple of damn divorces. We learned loyalty, honor, respect for the US, for government, and for freedom. But see, we actually fight for our fellow soldiers. You'd understand if you ever took the time to meet them. So yes, I face fear for you, and even those that act like complete jerks, because failure is simply not an option for me when I go to work. See, I'm descended from kings, forced into slavery. So here is my quote. I fought for this country before I even had the right to vote. I'm the Buffalo Soldiers who fought the Indians and settled the West. Absent from those history books, it's my blood, sweat, and hard work that helped build the U.S. I bravely charged up San Juan Hill and was later discredited in the press because racism wouldn't let this world view me as the nation's best. I'm the courageous, hardworking sailor who signed up at the local rally to learn that I could only serve my country from deep in that ship's galleys. I'm the black fire who defied all odds to fly, fight, and win. Well, you might have heard them call me one of those Tuskegee Airmen. I fought in all the U.S. conflicts to include 2 world wars to stop global oppression. But it wasn't until the Korean War that we overcame segregation. The media and the public want you to call me a hero. But you treated my Vietnam brothers, those leaders, like complete zeros. Those Vietnam warriors followed orders, fought with honor, and had no regrets. But when they came home to your insults, no cheers, just total disrespect. Well, this soldier has faced his fears through multiple wars in the Middle East. But I salute those soldiers dealing with fear right now so we can enjoy poetry here in peace.
James, Mr. Speaker Sears. Wow, that was so powerful. Thank you so much for your sacrifice and for this poetry. Thank you so much.
Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
Bravery at its finest. Thank you. Wow. I don't know if, you know, anyone out there has faced those things, but I commend you and I salute you. Thank you so much for that sacrifice. That's right. So we could do this poetry in peace. And yeah, what heroes we celebrate and which ones we don't, or so called heroes too. Well, I don't know if this man has been in the military, but he does go by the name Generalissimo. Generalissimo Brian Franco. I just want to say before Brian goes on that Matthew Marroquin, he he asked to be moved to the end. So after Generalissimo, we'll be going with Bill Elkins. Welcome, Brian Franco.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I feel like I should concede, but we'll let Trump concede one day. So let's go ahead and do some pieces. The first two came out of line breaks and Bronx beats last night. The first is unfinished. It's called Whirlwind. When a romance starts as a whirlwind, autumn leaves can be blown in concentric circles, creating rainbows that never existed before. All winds eventually die down. All hurricanes have eyes that exist in total calm while surrounded by unbridled chaos. Once they make landfall, they slow, but they incite flooding till their demise. People in love will inevitably discover aftermath debris from lovers' past storms. More than often, that debris shapes the parts of those they fall in love with. It's the discovery of such invisible scars that should be ugly, but instead shine like diamonds inside lumps of coals, waiting for the right person to understand just just because we get a little coal dust under our fingernails when clawing our way past the whirlwind into a future, previous storms we've weathered create our ability to love more thoughtfully. The next is called Sure You Can Afford the Gas Bill, but think of the energy you'll save. There are times when it's best to stay quiet and say nothing. When you exercise your well-honed expertise in gaslighting, it's often when I refuse to react to an obvious goat-getting comment. When you change a subject out of the blue that has no relevance to a conversation and has the sole purpose of button pushing, I have to weigh whether to tell you that my buttons are on my clothes and my belly button is attached to my belly. I am 54. Anyone who thinks it's okay to push any of my buttons without my permission best ask nicely. Don't announce to the rest of the world that I need to calm down or not get excited because I refuse to acknowledge the baseball bat you have fashioned into your tongue. There is no human mouth that wouldn't bleed if a baseball bat were inserted into it. Yet you do it to yourself when you connect propane tanks to your words and actions to light up the sky that is any conversation you are part of, converting it to a spectator sport of which you are the only competitor. When I attend a baseball game, I prefer to watch without distraction. Maybe squirt mustard onto a soft pretzel delivered by a teenager carrying a styrofoam ice chest, because it's okay to just watch sometimes. Try it. You might like it. From squirrel to eternity. I saw a squirrel with a pine cone in its mouth twice the size of its head. The squirrel had torn apart the pine cone so it didn't look like a pine cone. It looked primal, but the squirrel was fluffy and cute. I thought to myself that primal and cute never happened at the same time. I needed a picture. I walked around the corner and the squirrel was just sitting there in the shade under a bush on a 92-degree Maine July afternoon. I lifted my phone for the photo. The squirrel dropped the pine cone into his little paws and yelled, "Hey, motherfucker! I don't give you permission to take my photo or take film of me to make a fucking meme your fucking human friends will fucking laugh at and post online." He put the cone in his mouth and jetted fast as fury, dodging and weaving a bevy of pine trees like a Heisman Trophy winner. He took shelter in a group of sculpted dudes. I knew I'd never get the shot, so I walked away. And then a pine cone that must have been flying 100 miles per hour hit the middle of my bald spot. As I lay in the grass, concussed and dizzy, The squirrel walked over to me, crossed his arms over his Ernest Borgnine from here to eternity barrel chest, looked me square in the eyes and said, "Take a photo of this motherfucker." Oh, I did that last piece because Advocate is here. I just wanted to dedicate it to him.
There's some mean ass squirrels around your parts.
Well, this guy used to be in the New York Mafia, so yeah.
Thank you, Generalissimo. Oh my goodness. The pine cone. I heard that there's a pine cone statue at the Vatican, and that it actually symbolized the pineal gland that is in the third eye inside. We have this gland. So pine cones have a lot of meaning symbolically. I just wanted to add that. So he was throwing you brains, yo. He was. Okay, enough of me and my pine cone jokes mixed with facts. Let's go with Bill Elkins. Yeah, we're not gonna do Matthew. He's gonna go at the end. Matthew Marroquin, because he said his professor's wilding, so he couldn't get in into the Zoom. He has to do some schoolwork. So let's hear from Bill Elkins. And Generalissimo always has food. So he had pumpkins today. That was cool. I enjoyed it. Some New York City pigeons. What the withdrawn said? Oh, Generalissimo squirrel reminded you of New York City pigeons. New York City pigeons go, hoo, hoo, hoo. They be like, who the fuck are you? Bill Elkins, please put him on so I stop saying corny jokes. Even though I just submitted for a comedy competition.
There we go. There you go. Hi, LaBrua. I'm Bill Elkins from Long Beach, California. I'd like to do a cover, Bob Dylan's song. He's the songwriter that I think falls within the realm of poetry more than any other contemporary songwriter. So here we go. A song I'd like to do is A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. Oh, where have you been, my blue-eyed son? Oh, where have you been, my darling young one? I've stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I've walked and I've crawled on 6 crooked highways. I've stepped in the middle of 7 sad forests. I've been out in front of a dozen dead oceans. I've been 10,000 miles in the mouth of a graveyard. And it's a hard, and it's a hard, it's a hard, and it's a hard, it's a hard rains are gonna fall. Oh, what did you see, my blue-eyed son? Oh, what did you see, my darling young one? I saw a newborn baby with wild wolves all around it. I saw a highway of diamonds with nobody on it. I saw a black branch with blood that kept dripping. I saw a room full of men with their hammers a-bleeding. I saw a white ladder all covered with water. I saw 10,000 talkers whose tongues were all broken. I saw guns and sharp swords in the hands of young children. And it's a hard, and it's a hard, it's a hard, and it's a hard, and it's a hard rains are gonna fall. And what did you hear, my blue-eyed son? And what did you hear, my darling young one? I heard a sound of the thunder, it roared out a warning. Heard the roar of a wave that could drown the whole world. Heard 100 drummers whose hands were ablazing. Heard 10,000 whispering and nobody listening. Heard one person starve, I heard many people laughing. Heard the song of a poet who died in the gutter. Heard the sound of a clown who cried in the alley. And it's a hard, and it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rains are gonna fall. Oh, who did you meet, my blue-eyed son? Who did you meet, my darling young one? I met a young child besides a dead pony. I met a white man who walked a black dog. I met a young woman whose body was burning. I met a young girl, she gave me a rainbow. I met one man who was wounded in love. I met another man who was wounded with hatred. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, and it's a hard rains are gonna fall. Oh, what will you do now, my blue-eyed son? Oh, what will you do now, my darling young one? I'm going back out before the rain starts a-falling. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest black forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty, where the pellets of poison are flooding their waters, where the home in the valley meets the dark, dirty prison, where the executioner's face is always well hidden, where hunger is ugly, where souls are forgotten, where black is the color, where none is the number. And I'll tell it and think it and speak it and breathe it and reflect it from the mountain so all souls can see it. Then I'll stand on the ocean until I start sinking. But I'll know my song well before I start singing. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rains are gonna fall. Thank you.
It's a hard, it's a
Life's a bitch. Parentheses, life is a bitch.
Thank you for that translation.
You're welcome.
flowing. And let's hear from the professor de Sosomok. It's hard rains are coming. Come on, Tesosomok. There's a hard rain coming. You're about to get rained on by Tesosomok's poetry. And I'm eating a fig. You caught me. Bill ended the song right, you know. I was like, damn. Where's el profe? We want teacher. We want teacher. Tesosomok, ¿dónde estás? Yo, what's going on? Well, we're looking to hear from Tesosomok, and then we're going all the way to India with Unmesh. And then Catman Bill, Jose Martinez, Luis Pavon, Critica, Elise, The Withdrawn, Crystal Guerra, aka Chris Lally, Paul La Torre, aka Paul Con Queso, Nelson Perez Melgal, Ray Jane, Ron Mark.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
All right. Okay, we ready?
Yes, sir.
So this piece is called The Fluttering Heterotopias of Foucault. Just kidding. The mythic red-eye vulture.
That was a joke? Tesosomok? I think that's the first joke I've heard.
The mythic red-eye vulture. You may never see the mythic red-eye vulture scour the Santa Barbara backcountry. Be unable to watch it still in the air with its 10-foot wingspan like a compass needle trying for true north. We may never know of the Grim Reaper's presence amongst us, be forever unaware of the silent, swift glide across the nape and the mythic red-eye vulture as it used to fan the risen presence of death. Biologists claim it almost went extinct, but language forgives. It can't be said empirically that it was driven to extinction. Nothing remains of it in the wild, just our romanticism to comfort our intolerance. We have justified ourselves on paper why it had to be done away with, the chicken farmer, the rabbit farmer, or just its 11 million year old innate curiosity. We have passed the right laws to comfort our justification, pounded on the Bible as our given recourse. We have continued to strip away any semblance of the mythic red-eye vulture from our psyches. Our romanticism allows us to reinvent the mythic red-eye vulture as we have reinvented the American native, the dolphin, the dinosaur, and all species we have put in museums, and we've been unable to tolerate it. Now millions are poured to produce a designer mythic red-eye vulture, one that will not smash into utility poles, one that will not lap up antifreeze, one that is afraid of electricity, the designer creature who is able to outrun the rhino bullet. Those released have been propelled by deep instinct to return to their ancient roosting perches, only to find them completely settled by an unforgiving trigger hand. The land the Chumash claimed home for Voltaire Griffiths has been claimed and redeveloped by Kaufman and Broad. Biologists have argued that a designer mythic red-eye vulture is better than a dead one. But these same folks have also been saying that a housewife is better than a dead feminist, that an Uncle Tom is better than a dead Black Panther, that a reservation is better than a dead Mother Earth, that corporate welfare is better than people welfare, that a Hispanic is better than a dead Zapatista. There's only one vulture, one grim reaper who has love for rotting flesh, one gawky creature, one with crusty white legs, one Homo erectus. The mythic red-eye vulture remains only an obscure reference in an unabridged dictionary, from Quechua, kuntur, to Spanish, condor, to English, neutralize, no perceivable danger to the American way.
The metaphors. Thank you. Teso somok.
Thank you. And there was actually fluttering in my piece, but it was condor fluttering. Shout out to Jeff Cottrell. I think that was an amazing deconstruction of modern poetry. I appreciate it. Thank you. And you can find me at Gaseous 2019.
All right. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Jeff, you're official, bro. It's done. It's a wrap. Now let's go to India and hear from Unmesh Mohitkar.
Hey, love, Bruha, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you again.
Happy Diwali to everyone. And friends, my poems are short, just like life. And 4 lines. Try to give some reaction. I am watching you on your screen. I am watching you. Okay. They said, be cautious. They said, be cautious. I walked on thin line, fell on thin ice, saw the rainbow in between. That was the first one. Second one, okay. They both were dead on ground. They both were dead on ground, miniature man and me. But I only tried to kill my ego. Damn, isn't that insulting? Literally, ego killeth the man. That was my ego. Then the third one, you entertain life till the climax. You entertain life till the climax. Climax takes away the soul, and the soul never dies. And this is a repeat, but I like it. Nowadays, it is very, very relevant. Stop the bombardment. Stop the bombardment. Lies, hate, fake news. Stop the bombardment. Lies, hate, fake news. You win everything. You lose everyone. And this is the most positive poem. This is a very short poem which I have written. So it's very 5-6 lines, or more than that. Early morning, sun rays kissing the canopy of green trees, birds on their morning walk, flying, diving, chirping, welcoming a new day, a new hope, a new resolve. Let every day, every morning, every sun ray bring joy, love, and hope, spreading smiles, laughter, and joy. Spreading smiles, laughter, and joy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Unmesh.
Thanks, everyone. It's great to be here. I feel lively.
Wonderful. Yes. Take all that energy in and use it and live with it and thrive with it. Oh, it's just so powerful.
And friends, you can find me on Instagram, Unmesh Mohitkar, Twitter, Mohitkar Unmesh. Yeah. Thanks a lot. And Labrua, I love this platform. And thanks for the opportunity. And sometimes I like to thank the lockdown as well. Though I know it's not good, but still. Thanks everyone.
Whatever works.
Whatever works.
Oh my goodness, Unmesh. That was so fun. That was really fun. I love the intro to the ego poem. It's like, and this is a poem about my ego. It's a short one.
You are better than me.
Damn, that ego somebody wrote up. But thank you, Unmesh. Beautiful, beautiful. Until next time.
Until next time.
Okay. Yeah, man, that ego. I heard that ego is an acronym for edging God out. You know, I think Wayne Dyer said that. Wayne Dyer, may he rest in peace. Let's see what we have now. Let's go with Catman Bill.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, Bill. How are you?
I'm going to rest my stand up. It didn't go according to plan last week. I hope nobody remembers what I spoke. But I'm a contrarian. I go for the, I really like everyone, but in my presentation I talked about hating everyone, and the humor didn't quite come out.
It's
Anyways,
poetic license. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't be too hard on yourself. It was lots of fun. Any vodka today to get your poem out? Ah, that liquid courage. Take it away, Bill. You're gonna do fine.
oh, and I always want. I've known of the Norican Poetry Cafe since its inception, and in my mind, through the decades, I always said, that's a great Latin environment and everything, but it's mostly probably all in Spanish, and I never paid much mind to it. But then, a few weeks ago, I opened it up, and there everyone is from all over the world. So, um, you know, we come around eventually. So, anyways, I'm going to do a song called The Ballad of Trayvon Martin. And some songs come easy and fast, and others take a while. And I know that this one had several iterations that lasted about a year, but here it is. A bullet blast in a Florida night, but George Zimmerman said it wasn't his fight. I was just out to help the neighbors, he said. These assholes always get away instead. But what's that say about the new law in town that lets you shoot anybody down? He looks suspicious, just going home. But you're straight with the law when you stand your ground. Trayvon Martin walked home from the store, Skittles in hand, nothing more. Not knowing what was about to unwind, as he stepped into the night for one last time. But what's that say about the new law in town that lets you shoot anybody down? He looks suspicious, just going home. But you're straight with the law when you stand your ground. Zimmerman is the vigilante one, feels empowered but protects no one. Starts to track Trayvon in the dark. A fight begins, he shoots him through the heart. But in Florida there's a place you can hide, gives you permission to shoot far and wide. He looks suspicious, just going home. But you're straight with the law when you stand your ground. Mark O'Mara argued for the defense. Sid Zimmerman had used common sense. He had no choice, he was on the ground, getting his face pounded down. Oh, what's that say about the new law in town that lets you shoot anybody down? Court adjourns, the trial done. No law found broke neath the Florida sun. No law found broke neath the Florida sun. Thank you.
was powerful. Made me misty.
Thank you. I think.
Very good. Very, very beautifully done. Thank you so much. It's just, yeah, the reality of it, but in a song, you know?
And just last Saturday when I think it was Saturday that Joe Biden was announced the winner, I decided to go down to the Capitol. I'm from Hartford, Connecticut. But it was evening time, and I didn't know there had been a rally pro and against earlier at the Capitol. But I was there now by myself, walking along a promenade that has Black Lives Matter painted on the whole street. And I was just walking by myself, and this young woman approached me with a cam and asked me if I would mind an interview. And I said, no, of course not. She was doing something for class. So her first question was, what did you think about the announcement? And well, when I saw the announcement earlier that day, I looked into the screen and cried. And I expressed that to her as I began to cry. And I thought, boy, I gave that woman some good feed that night. More than she bargained for.
You gave her tears from the heart. That's a beautiful thing. That's priceless.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
sensitivity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bill Katz, everybody. Catman Bill. Oh, Catman Bill. I'm gonna have to make a little country song myself. I'm not gonna play the guitar or anything.
And by the way, this is my book. Just to get in a little bit of promo here. It's Nothing Good About Donald Trump. It can be found on any platform online.
All right. Support Bill. Support Catman Bill. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Peace out. Here we go. Let's see what Jose Martinez has to say tonight. Yeah.
All right, I'm ready. Hello. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm going to read 2 poems and then plug some stuff. First poem is called Washington, D.C. I was drinking in the ride. I was smoking over car parks, national parks, hotels, and sidewalks. The heroin heads nodded off on street corners, adjacent condos and townhomes. The empty lots, a systematic buffer between the federal buildings, high-rise art and rooftop patios. Dreadlocked citizens cross and Christian the city, built the nation and still are not acknowledged, not holy until now. The strange streets preceding our allotted time are where you will find me smashing windows, yelling at police, relating facts, fighting racism and prejudice, because it is 2020 in the year of our motherboard circuits. We have too much in all the wrong places. Let's burn down where the president stays, or let in all the homeless and give them plates. Let the children, racially accused, out of their cages, give the working class living wages, and let's be great to one another together. So that's from a book I'm working on called That's Not My Cell Phone, That's a Pack of Cigarettes, Poems and Other Instances by Jose Martinez. This is my Instagram and my Cash App where I'll be promoting the book. My second poem is called 419 Blaze It. Wandering out again in cowboy land. Strange culturescapes manifested by the individual patriot. Juxtaposed by immigrant breath across the nation. Streets patter with protesters and anti-protesters. I met thighs as milky as the eyes I fell in. White privilege was a pool where she learned to swim. I pissed. Later, I unlearned hate for white people. Had to spread my wings, my arms to separate those shouting nothing. Teachable moments I did not ask for. Every city like the one before. Line after line of road, hill, town, always filling cups and beds just to break them down. Being is the soul spell cast at the void and the particular section you subscribe to. Out again in cowpoke land, I see the times are changing, yet the people are not. This is what is hard. What is wrong? All right. So that's from my new book coming out. I'm working on. I've got a couple different poems. I'm not really active on Instagram, but I'll be plugging my new work. If you want to get like 40 poems for $20, that's where you can find it. I'm sending it in the chat. Thank you so much, guys. A lot of great work, a lot of great artistry going on here tonight, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Woo, Jose Martinez. Wonderfully done. Thank you so much for sharing your work. Now let's keep it going, keep it flowing, and hear from Luis Pabon. There's such talented open micers, don't we?
Hey, la bruja, ¿cómo está? Hey, I missed you. I missed you all, honestly.
I thought.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out
Aw.
Sydney to pay these student loans. But it's good to see you. It's good to see everybody tonight.
Oh, yes. What you gonna be doing for us?
So I got two pieces. The first piece is called On Taking Up Space. I am a bomb. I have swallowed the blast, napalm. I have muffled the impact. My Vietnam heart has seen many wars. Ghost bodies revolve around a poison stream source. I dance, a dim silence. Cloaked heavy, a southern drawl in my war-torn bones. I am a soldier, a diva, a ninja. See my shadow explode. I make soundless footsteps and leave invisible prints. You can feel me take up space. My spirit locks to your spirit. Together we build feeling. Jitter and move to a gifted jig. This is how we do joy. Remember joy? Or have the battles collected in your muscles so much so a smile becomes a landmine, a laugh, a grenade? Do you know how to be whole? Or have you stayed in being escaped? So that's my first piece. And my next piece is entitled On Being Good Like That. Oh, you'll understand, because you're good like that. Like the kind of man that will be okay with a handful of nothing. Like the kind of man that cradles a vacant promise in the belly of a dying rose bush. A man used to disappointment, so it's okay to give it often because you're good like that. Like easygoing, fresh dressed breezes, and don't worry about me, I'm fine, when really I'm not. But I'll understand if you don't understand because I'm good like that. Like everything you say I am, but am not. In fact, I think I'm much better at pretending I'm good like that than I actually am. But it does my heart good to know that you're good, and I like doing hearts good except my own. And maybe that's the problem. Being good for everyone else's heart, but bad to my own. My heart too good for its own good, thus making it bad. Guess I'm really not as good as I say I am. Thank y'all for listening. Check me out on Twitter, Instagram, LMajesty1 on Insta, and I'll plug the rest. I look forward to hearing everybody.
Woo, Luis Pabon, warrior. Yes, you are, that you swallowed the blast. Powerful stuff. I love it. I love it.
Gracias.
Great to see you,
You
and
too.
hope to see you soon.
Definitely.
Okay, so now let's hear Critica.
Hello, Bruja. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a while. How's everyone doing?
We're having a good time tonight. What are you gonna do for us tonight?
I was just looking to cover a song by her. It's called Lights On. Yeah. And if you're wondering about the daylight, I'm actually calling in from Singapore today. So. It's dark outside. I'm feeling right with you. Are you? Yeah. sheets. You read in between me. I ain't a stranger to the foreplay, so we can skip the wordplay. Yeah, leave the lights on, leave the lights on, leave on lights on, leave on lights on, 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 do it side on, switcher, let me ride on, gun on night long, leave on lights on, on, on. Won't close my eyes. Show me what you can do. I do, yeah. I know your vibe. Angelo and Penthouse views of views, yeah. See the side of me fluent in the sheets. You read in between me. I ain't a stranger to the foreplay. Yeah, we can skip the wordplay. Yeah, leave the lights on, leave the lights on, leave on lights on, leave on lights on. On, do it side on, switcher, let me ride on, gun on night long, leave on lights on, on, leave the lights on, leave the lights on me. That was called Lights On.
Woo! Critica.
Thanks.
Singing beautifully all the way out in Singapore.
Yes. I miss New York, but I'll be back soon.
Let them know how to follow you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on all streaming platforms under my name, Critica. So that's Kritika. My Instagram and Facebook handle is Critica Sings. I'll also drop it in the chat. Also, a side note, I also dropped a single last month called Yuva, YUVA. It means youth in Hindi, and it's dedicated to the minority communities in India. I hope you'll take the time to listen to it, and I'll drop a link for that in the chat also. Thank you.
Yes, get it, Critica. Nice, beautiful. Many blessings to you.
Thanks.
Okay, here we go. Now let's hear from Elise.
Hello, everyone.
Elise!
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, coming in nice and clear.
I have some new shit.
Woo! New shit, new shit.
Got 2 new pieces for you guys tonight. First one is called Nuclear Awe. The most beautiful place on Earth is Chernobyl. Flora and fauna not yet classified managed to fare well out of ruin. I think of this, gazing at the velvet carpet of night, how November rain, acidic, is full of microbes you shouldn't taste on your tongue. Yet I'm inclined to admit it's beautiful, this soothing song of chemistry pouring out from a beaker full of stars, test tube musical. How adaptable the wolves of Chernobyl, so immune to the radiation, like they knew some fact we never knew, how to flourish where others view lost causes, how they come back. This last one is called Parallels. The birds with conviction tap out their lyrics in the snow, and their chatter descends upon the mountains. Look how the flowers still struggle to grow, like lungs filling with air, the soft despair of endings, of so much life lived. It must be written, and then it must be sung, like the chorus of a sun after a lightning storm, the bees like oboe players thrum, the morning sky an afterbirth of blood. This is how we love. It's also how hate seeds in the veins, but mostly morning's birthing is how the stars are made. Occasionally the stars burn out, like flames in church hall candles, their ashes floating on the wind, but for centuries death is how time begins. Infinite explosions and black holes, all the songs the earth sings that we don't know the words to. Like psalms in a foreign language, but they have always been my favorite. Like autumn's blood red season, her heavy soil and decay. I love how a little death choreographs the sycamores in a grand ballet. Thank you.
Woo, Elise, yes. Oh, that grand ballet. Oh, and
You
yes.
guys can find me on Instagram at Elise0x and Facebook at Elise Vercella and EliseVercella.com.
Thank you so much for that powerful new shit. That Chernobyl
you.
thing. Oh my God, I had mentioned it on maybe a couple of episodes ago. I saw it on HBO on Chernobyl. It was like a mini series, and oh my God, it was so heart-wrenching. The scariest part was that it was real, you know, that we were like, it was a reenactment of something that really happened. Mind blowing.
Mind blowing.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And still we rise and thrive and bloom and blossom. Despite and all that. Yeah, we survive. Thank you, Elise. Follow Elise. Make sure you support Elise and all her beautiful stuff. Now let's hear from the one and only, the withdrawn.
Man, I have missed y'all so much the past 2 Thursdays. I've been trying to sign up and I finally got in.
Woo! Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire.
And I got a little story for you. So, last night, I think I've been suffering from like New Year withdrawal because I had 3 dreams about you. They were all clean last night. And I was like, yo, I gotta make it today. So I wrote a little piece. It's called Bruja Invasion. 3rd Thursday's the charm. Subconscious eating. 3 dreams about La Bruja. Trouble signing up. I need to perform. Not trying to be withdrawn. I've missed the New Year. And that's piece 1. And piece 2, I wrote over Trey Songz is famous, and it's funny. I had this song stuck in my head the past like week, and then when I got the email that I got in for the open mic, I was listening to this song, so I feel like God's saying, "Play it." So I'm gonna do this piece. Can you hear me talk? Instrumental sounds okay? Yeah, okay. I can make you famous. And I'm not talking about the sense of making you this big. Reality TV star where everybody knows what your name is. Have you in my studio apart with your body spread out just like the shape of a star. I can make you famous. When I shove it so deep inside your rib cage, it's over for you. I'm gonna need you to put your legs on the shoulder or 2. You so loud, the neighbors recognize your voice when they hear you talk in the elevator like, yo, that's the lady that's been getting dick down every night. Everybody wants a piece of that pie, but not everybody knows how to bake it to perfection. In my lessons, the recipe she taught me was always a mix of good dick and stimulating her mentally. I see. It's more than just fucking the shit out of you, but fucking the shit out of your brain too. That's how it should be. On my tongue, is where you could be. Taking every inch of these licks. On the day where it's like 90 degrees out, but your body can't stop itself from shivering. It was always Team Slytherin from the very beginning. Tongue game too good, like we know who the winner is. And if you find somebody better, then I hold no bitterness. We all can use improvement. I've had tacos for the past 3 weekends. And I haven't eaten tacos since the start of this COVID-19 thing. I ain't psycho like Joe, but maybe I'll start seeing things. In a sense where I manifest you in my room and us fucking with the windows open. Again. I thought I was wild, but damn, you redefine dangerous. I hope you can carry the weight of being famous while I admire the amazing star that you are. Thank you. Stop. Oh man, I missed y'all so much, man.
I missed you too. My goodness.
Much love.
Got me blushing for, I don't know.
You got me fucking blushing for I don't know either. That water real quick.
The withdrawn, ladies and gentlemen. The most
Thank y'all so
unwithdrawn
much.
withdrawn I've ever known. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much.
Much love, you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Saying if the recognizing the voice in the elevator. Oh my goodness. If it's like, oh my God. Oh, and that it's her. Let me see. Here we go. Now let's hear from the poetic stylings of Crystal Guerra, aka Chris Lally.
Hello, everyone. Guess it's the reunion because we've all been struggling with trying to get in, but just keep trying, I guess, is the lesson here. So, one in Spanish, one in English is what I'm going to do. Okay, here we go. One in Spanglish, one in English. Soy tan Spanglish, I dip mis tacos de pollo in barbecue sauce. Como mole con saltines, I drown my popcorn in Valentina y me trago hot dogs en tortillas. Con ketchup y sometimes catsup. Para el Halloween me disfrazo de luchadora. Después I adorn mi altar con cempasúchil. Protesto 4th of July and shout Viva Mexico. Como pancakes y hotcakes con syrup and with cajeta, and when I'm lucky con lechera. Juking and cumbia, mariachi and house. Pizza and huarache, salsa verde and mild sauce. Tostadas de tinga and wings with white bread. Chi-town bulls, los toros de Nueva York. Food and liquor, abarrotes y más, saucí, evolución, hood, colonia, concrete, concreto, metro, luz square, cigarros sueltos, Calumet, Chapultepec, downtown, el DF, the go, el defectuoso, prairie, volcán, lake, smog, order, caos, norte, south. Pero like so Spanglish, que ni sé in what language podré to say aquí casa, here home. Stay, quédate is one. It's hard because you're switching to Spanish and English. I get tongue tied, but I'm going to get better at it. And then this one, avalanche. I know the sound of trees falling. First, the snap, crack, silence. Then a crescendo. Branches fractured, avalanching as leaves lean in, lean down, rustling, rushing, ravaged, a crunch of branch and trunk. I know the sound of trees falling, of birds swelling from their tips in rage and song, their habitat, their home, born from seed and sun, snatched by metal hands, they take off all at once, lifted by the tree's last gasp. I know the sound of trees falling. No, I know the sound of trees murdered, wondering why their deaths only matter when heard. Matter is energy, is vibration. Everything already is sound. Why are the trees questioned? Always questioned. If a tree falls, no. If a tree is murdered and nobody heard, I know the sound of trees murdered because utility, because birthplace, because magnificent. To make way, as they say, for nice homes structured with steel and cement. In the name, as they say, of progress, that green with no roots that shines sans espíritu. I know the sound of trees murdered. It sounds like home. Sounds like glass shattering, making cracked sidewalks cosmic. Emerald ivy billowing from buildings marked with an X. What strange map ends with emptied homes? This land, the last bit of unsettled city. Hood wonderland paved with red bricks because 100 years later, the city still hasn't fixed our streets. I listen to the discord of trees and homes splintered by man's machines, wondering when it will be my turn to witness gentrification's dirty war, or if this is just the beginning. I know the sound of trees murdered, of homes demolished, displace, 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 and kill if they shall not be moved. And still, I stand along these trees and houses once homes. No question, matter can neither be created nor destroyed, only transformed. And we don't simply make a sound when fallen, when demolished, when murdered, we avalanche. And those are my poems.
Bravo!
And my name right here, Clistlali, is me on Instagram, so you can find me there.
Yes. Oh my God.
Thank you. And it's been great to hear and see everyone. And like Razi started off with like the silence and the talking and the stuff, and there was trees. There was like, it's all for a reason, right? With
Yes,
it's the time. This was the one we had to be at. That was it.
Yes. That's right, baby. Viva el momento. In the moment, this is all we have. And that was absolutely beautiful. You can see the response in the chat. People just love it. I had the privilege of hearing that poem on Tuesday. I love it. I love it. I love it. People like submit it. So powerful. So, so powerful. Future fire. Here we go. So, yeah, some people are born this way. Some people work their ass off to get this way, and some people have to be cut down to be heard. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Paul Con Queso, aka Paul La Torre.
Yeah, we don't gotta throw governments. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I had the honor of being part of the event with Willie P on Tuesday. La Bruja called me out for it, and Chris Lally was also there, and I got to hear both those pieces like exclusively, like preview shit. So it was dope. It was fire. I didn't have two pieces scheduled. I only had one loaded in the chamber, but then the realization, hearing Mr. Speaker, hearing DG, the memory that yesterday was Veterans Day. I wanted to read a piece for my grandfather, and then the other short piece that I intended to read. So this is called Joseph. A black and white picture of my grandfather smiling while holding his three women sits on a side table in my Aunt Jo's house. I've never met this man, but I've heard stories. Funny, silly stories. One's about him bouncing mom on his knee, about going nowhere without his favorite toupee, about his glory days, boxing in the army, about the afternoon, his entire life. Nearly collided, gore stories, war stories. I've learned from the oral traditions of storytelling women, the surviving matriarchs of my family. Grandpa Joe did 2 full tours of World War II, grueling tours, the kind that would make you vomit by getting the visual, the viscera, the barbed wire, and foxholes overflowing with limbs, the children and women casualtied, and all the toll this takes as you not only witness but become accessory to it. That 182 days into his second tour, a blast would occur that almost ensured that he wouldn't make it home. My mother'd never be born. Flash forward to 1970s Newark. 2 golden glove dog tags dangle from the rear view mirror of a 68 Chevrolet Caprice. White knuckles speed over beat up roads of a pothole filled Route 21. A cabbie on his day off with hands gripping wheel, as they did turret gun of tank plowing through German-occupied villages, and just like that, he's back overseas. A pitter-pat of rocks ricochet off the wheel well, bringing him back to the rounds, bouncing off the barricade of their stronghold, blocking all roads out, and Joseph knows he must be the first of his men to go and brave the fray on his own. A brother's fallen, and he stumbles as he runs to drag his slumped, lifeless husk back behind their outpost, holds strong to his arm, awkwardly steps with his left, and it was then he heard the disengage of the pressure plate click, which means he's activated the detonating lever of an SMI-35 landmine, buried several inches beneath surface earth. And next, all he heard was silence, ringing, tinnitus, bringing piercing absence. He collapses as medics rush. He'd awaken in a Belgian hospital 2 days later to learn his leg and scrotum were nearly lost, that yes, his left testicle is now mine fodder. He would make peace with the pieces of himself he could never regain. A few more days, blown away. He was discharged honorably, given prescription of meds and rest, yet no therapy, sent home with a medal and a letter from the president, most only get over a folded flag. And as his dog tags clink over the dashboard, the newsman reports numbers of fatalities from this ever ongoing war and how the Viet Cong will simply not let up. He reaches for his dial to change and once again gets blindsided. The click and rushing pain, another red flood of deafening taking over his left side again. Only this time the mine explodes. Platelets and clots filling chambers, and with no one to tourniquet or stop the loss, he pulls over and locks eyes on his dash. Those dog tags clink with the pull of the brake to stop. And as the sirens arrive to pull his cold engine from the car's body, he lies frozen in the pose of him reaching for a black and white picture of him grinning with his 2 daughters and wife. Right, that was my first piece, and that's because I want to honor someone who I never got to meet, but he served, and I just want to salute everybody from Mr. Speaker and Rose Gold. I know Rose Gold has served, and anybody else who's here with us watching over the live streams or in this room, anybody who served. All right, so this next piece is also a little bit on that same tip, but it's patriotic in a different sense. This is called America con Queso. For what seems like the longest time, we have been frozen in it, posing for a family photo none of us in this home even remotely wanted to be a part of. Held hostage, our postures slumped, stoic, static, granite, stone-faced. Mean mugging at Mount Rushmore meets Easter Island levels of fixed expression, like someone told a bad joke and we are all Michael Scott deadpanning the camera. But now, that the photographers have changed. The heads of state rearranged, the tone, the lighting. We are no longer in hiding like children under dinner tables, running hands across stockings, stalking maps of electoral colleges, stacking up algebra, breaking 270, which makes us feel safe enough to step out from under the tablecloth and into the sala, where our mantra is no longer to drag America back in time to make it, quote, great as the days it proudly enslaved slaves. Women had no say, and the law of the land was dictated by land-owning rich white aristocrats, powdered wigs and stockings running like tears of joy our country shed, learning it is no longer at the mercy of a petulant, narcissistic child bully, focusing the light from its magnifying glass lens into our eyes and legs, burning us up like fire ants, like a colony set ablaze, and its charred remains, nothing but ruins of ash and flames. And for 4 long years, we were told to stand amongst this burning relic and smile and take it. All the while, they rolled back protections, they repealed policy, they executive ordered bigotry and xenophobia, they put white supremacy front and center, they made America a threat again. But now that we have shed the orange shell of hate, the skin they donned for Donald and raised higher than any flag bearing stars of child immigrant eyes locked away, stripes of that thin blue line taking lives, scars of liberty proudly waved in the face of prisoners wrongly detained. And while our new administration of photographers may not be the ideal, at least they are not seeking to sell and extort our likenesses, likened to reports sent to coroners. At least these days we can find reason to breathe a sigh of relief. And thus we do, at no one else's behest, but our own command. We stare directly into the camera's lens, unflinching, unbreaking eye contact. We cheese our cheesiest cheese we could ever possibly conceive because we believed in the notion of being free, and for once we were not punished for having hope. So we smile as the camera flashes on our full mouth of teeth, our pursuit of happiness captured in celluloid magic.
Paul con queso. Yes. What was the title? Queso, American queso?
It was America con queso.
Oh, American con queso. Oh, American queso works too. The American cheese.
Yeah, the government cheese. The government cheese. Suckling at its teeth. Yeah.
That was the realest, man. You're amazing. You already know.
This whole place is amazing. I love everybody here. I draw so much inspiration from y'all. You make me raise my game. I wrote that whole piece today because I was like, I signed up. I got to bring heat. I got to bring like fucking
Today, oh my God.
all today.
Fire.
Smoking shit. If y'all want to follow me, you can follow me at Paul Con Queso on IG and Venmo. Jump on my link tree and also submit to Love Letters to Gaia because that is a new magazine forthcoming. Love you, Bruja. Appreciate you and appreciate all y'all.
Paul con queso. Follow that man. Follow that cheese. Follow that cheese. Now let's go to Nelson Perez Melgar.
Hello, everyone.
Hi there.
Hi. Okay, so my piece is titled An Ode to Salvadoran Mothers. I overhear my mother singing that she cannot live peacefully without him, and without question, I parrot her words until their echo sticks to my skin, and they try to find refuge in the callousness she calls warmth. I tell her that her singing makes me miss his unrehearsed vibrato and the unevenness in his hairline. But mother shouts that I am a fool, that men like dad will dive with you into the ocean, abandon you at the bottom, and rob a lung while they can. I rub her back and dry the inevitable wetness around her eyes and tell her stories of all the other Salvadorian women who did, do, and will survive. But she weeps until sunrise, while my soul grieves another sleepless night. Like clockwork, she chants at midnight that she cannot and will not live peacefully without him. And so she places his old brown shirt buttons on a bodiless sphere and calls it by its name. It leads her around the house like her guiding light. She says, baby, you will find a king of your own one day. I say, mommy, come to bed, and she screams, simultaneously promising me that he was not going to leave again. I say, mommy, it's late and he's not coming back. And the brief glint of madness that meets my eye pulls on my jugular, and she steps forward to say that dad left because of me. And tears pool in her eye, tears that say if she had nations, I'd be the drop. And if she were the sea, I'd be petroleum. And one day it will happen, and my heart will break from nestling the demons plaguing her mind. One day the stars will explode and I will stop seeing my fingerprints in supernovas. My mother says she cannot live peacefully without him, and I want to tape her mouth shut for 1,000 years, for we have made it without him for 1,000 before. And the day she begins to live without him, when she stops believing I am the author of her tragedies, will be a day full of hurricanes and fires. But that day is not today. But the day I am not the one to blame is on the horizon.
Nelson! Yo, that is some realness right there. Wow. Anything else you want to say? Because
I'll put my Instagram in the chat.
you do that, honey.
Thank you, everybody.
You're amazing. And it's a brand new day. And you know, wow, that's just, that piece is so powerful. You know, you're not to blame for a damn thing. Okay, good. Just making sure. But it doesn't make it any less painful, you know? You're powerful, you're strong, you're amazing, you're talented. And you are here, baby. Okay, so let's hear from Queen Ray Jane.
What's up?
What's up, boo?
What's happening, bro?
Chilling. Good to see you, honey.
I missed you, yo.
Missed you.
It's good to see your face.
Good to see you too.
And all y'all, what's up?
Everybody's bringing some new shit. Are you bringing new shit too?
You damn right I'm bringing you some new shit. Some more today's shit. Feel me? Let's do it. I'm gonna bring y'all a little bit of love and a little bit of rage. So the first one is called Love Language. Somebody asked me a question saying, ponder this. What if your love language was birthed from what your parents didn't give? Would that remove the romance in it? Would that cause you to pause, rethink what you need, consider what you've allowed others to feed you? Has anyone really freed you? Are we all living in 360 versions of ourselves, returning to the deficiencies in love no matter what else has gone wrong? Are we living on that line? Have we grown complacent? Don't seem like many fight anymore. We'd sooner throw love to the floor than meet each other on the mat. Then reach into our shadows and battle with what we lack. Wait, let me fall back, cause some of y'all just got triggered. Walking around thinking more of your figure than how to tone down your ego and lift your love till it gets bigger. But y'all ain't ready for that rigor. Y'all stopped giving love your vigor many losses ago. Yet you wondering why your joy approaches so slow, love. You're so lost. You're failing and falling into your own trapped doors, running from vulnerability like it's even yours. It belongs to we. It connects us to reality. We live in a farce, consumed by our own carnality while we spiritually skin and bones. That nagging feeling, the unsettling groans at the bottom of your soul, trying to court you, get you alone. Show you that love could never be wrong. But you got work left to do. Thank you. And one for rage. Dear Donald, fuck you very much. Am I upsetting your demons? I'm exercising these incisors. I promise you they're wiser than back of your mouth. Send them dark things back south, underfoot, up under doubt. This love, the frequency of demolition, fragmenting your mission, this spirit won't warn you, no premonition, just blasting bad energy till I'm dead. My ammunition is the fact that you are fiction. Listen, do us a favor, traitor. Pack away your greed, but ain't no need. You can't bargain with the creator. And as her seeds, we pray the curse of your deeds ravages you now and later. Demon dictator in human skin, hell burning from inside. Aren't you tired of failing to win? For fuck's sake, take your L so we can escape your hell. Let me yell, cause I know you can't read. Put Twitter down, motherfucker, and fucking concede. Thank you.
Put that Twitter down, motherfucker. That's gonna be a t-shirt. Put that Twitter down, motherfucker.
Just get out of here. Just go. Just go.
I.
You know?
Yes, don't I know?
Well, while we want him out, I am glad to be in with y'all here, sharing with you in this amazing place. If you would like to hear more of me or see more of me, and you can find everything at itsrayjane.com. Hello, sang. Itsrayjane.com. If you have any love that you're writing, that you're singing for the earth, Chris Lally, that joint was fire, crazy, crazy, crazy. Please submit to love letters to Gaia@gmail.com. We want your work. Thank you, Nuyo. Thank you, Bruja. Thank y'all, all of y'all.
Yes, Ray Jane. Woo! All that. Powerful. I love. Okay, so we're down to two more poets. Our next poet is Ron Mark Thompson, and then we will close out with Matthew Marroquin. Hi, Ron.
Hey, La Brua. It was good to see you on Monday, but you confused me. I tuned in and I'm like, did I just miss 3 days of my life? Is it Thursday already? So you know what? I think Advocate and you, just to keep us on toe, you should switch each other even when you're feeling well, just to keep us on toe, you know. But that was interesting. Thanks for helping out on Monday. What I like, usually I perform poetry, but what I like about Thursday is that we can do other things like, you know, storytelling, comedy. I wish I could sing, I can't. So I'm going to tell you a story. And La Brua, you mentioned at the beginning, I'm paraphrasing, you said nothing you can write is wrong, I believe you said, right? So I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you a trigger warning. It may be a little bit sad. You know, some may think, oh, it's the pandemic. It's too soon. Feel free to throw tomatoes at me at the end. So here it goes. A few years ago, I started writing. And then last year, I started performing in open mics. I had never done this before. It was new. My parents would have been proud. It was totally different from what I had done in my previous boring life. It was bold. I wanted my parents so badly to see me shine on stage. Unfortunately, they were not around anymore. I very much wished they could have been there. But it was their own fault. They had moved to the West Coast the year before that. It was too far for them to travel back to New York City to see me. Oh well, too bad. But then this year the coronavirus came. Cafes and bars closed. All open mics moved online to Zoom. Surely now my parents could see me. Here was their chance over the internet. But sadly, I lost them during this pandemic. You see, 2 days before I had scheduled my first online performance, they were both admitted to the hospital. Then they were gone. Well, their numbers were gone. I broke my phone and lost all contacts. I couldn't find their email address either. I had not written it down. And I had forgotten to back up my data to the cloud. I knew from one of their neighbors that my parents recovered okay and were released from the hospital, but I had no way to contact them. I could not send them the Zoom link to the open mic. I couldn't call them. Oh well, I guess they'll never see me perform. Nothing I can do. Okay, here's an update to end on a happy note. My parents eventually got back in touch with me. They connected to Zoom. But as you can guess, they did not know how to use the microphone button to mute or unmute themselves. Their speakers didn't work. I tried to walk them through all. They couldn't hear me. I gave up. Like I say, I guess they will never see me recite a poem or a story. Maybe after the pandemic ends, I'll visit them and I'll look for open mics in their town so they can see me perform in person. Of course, that's only if they're still around then. The end.
Yay! Oh, Ron. Everybody was sad. We were like, oh, and then we were like, oh.
You know, I wrote that last week in a joke writing workshop, and then this morning I read it to my library's writing group. Now they know me, so they were so upset. Like, how can you fool us like this? And I'm like, it's just a mild joke, you know. Come on. So you know what? I'm actually glad that Matthew chose to move to the end, so I don't have to be the last one here, you know. So hopefully we can end on a happy note. But thank you, LaBrua.
It was a happy note. Thank you, Ron.
Good.
Thank you for your storytelling and your humor. Dark as it
You're
may
welcome.
be, it was enlightening at the end.
Thank you.
Well, you know, everybody except Jeff, because I think I got caught up in your performance, but on my stories on my Instagram, La Bruja NYC, I captured like 15 seconds of each one of you performing. So your parents might see 15 seconds if you send them to my story. Thank you.
Or I can show them the YouTube video that you guys have here. You know?
Exact. There you go. There you go. There's always a way. There's always a way. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. I got like 3 things to say before I start. First off, I'm so pissed that you wrong like that. I had me tripping. Like I was gonna cry over here. I know. Like. Anyways.
Got you. He got you.
Okay. Second off, funny enough, good old Paul over here has like a Michael Scott reference and like pulling out. I'm like, hey, I have Michael Scott in my water bottle, the same quote he used, and also I have something in my very new poem writing I just wrote. And it's like same themes and everything. So I'm like, what? Okay, and I thought that was crazy.
Synchronicity. Coincidences are coincidences, and new shit.
Hell yeah. Third off, last thing. The whole start of this I actually got from like open mics in this, like, I don't know, y'all do different things than I've heard over here in like Iowa, which, you know, all I hear is like corn in the wind. So, so I don't know. I'm really liking that. I'm getting some new flavor into this. All right, time to start. This is my declaration for colored people. Wrote it earlier today. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What a big lie that was. My life only matters if I pass the paper test. Now, I ain't no Michael Scott, but I know that the printer paper doesn't be looking like me. If the printer paper does look like me, someone will be upset. Hell, my skin itself already upsets people, so why not the color of the paper too? Entitled to life, entitled for life not to be taken, entitled unlike my black brothers and sisters, my brown primos y primas, to not be killed by those that are supposed to protect us, to not be caged by those, to not be caged for those seeking a better life, to be able to live life. Liberty, hell, my cousin who could be in a cage right now. My brothers be out there locked up for some minor stuff that rich white people get away with an oops, 7 bullets in your back, oops, forced hysterectomies for dreaming, oops, mass incarceration, yeah, oops. Imagine living in the land where the free, imagine living in the land of the free without any real freedom to speak of. I've seen it for others, but not for us. Or is that just colored people liberty? And the pursuit of happiness. Mi mama is ashamed for not being able to lay her tongue flat enough to say all the sounds, her mind wide enough to know all the words, but sometimes they get mixed up in the multiple languages floating around in her head. She has the loudest voice, great ideas, but this is all silence once her English comes into question. She can speak both. She can speak either. She will go as far as to speak whatever you're more comfortable with because that is who she is. Yet she still be scared to run for office. She still be scared to speak up at times. She still be scared even though she has the mastery of not one, but 2 languages, her tongue, lips, and mouth, able to handle that bomba, that cumbia, that waltz, that swing, that bachata, that dance between the 2 different people coming together, making a new scene, a mix of a dance, a cumbia swing, a bachata waltz. Yes, sometimes she steps on a couple toes, but on that stage, she still performs like no other, with this dance like none other. Yet her dreams sometimes come to a stop. She doesn't pursue some things because she still be too scared. Scared that her dance ain't polished enough. Scared that the people won't enjoy that bachata waltz or that cumbia swing. Scared because out there they want you to be scared. How the hell are we supposed to pursue happiness that way? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, here's my declaration. I can't rewrite what's already been written. I ain't gonna scratch it out, tear it up. No, I'm just gonna turn the page and begin anew. This page is a brown one. This story, cage free, where my brothers and sisters of all colors walk in peace, even when they see a cop on the side of the street. And oh yeah, mi mama, she runs the city in this one too. Talking up there in both languages in a perfect dance that continues. She has something to say and has the right to say it. This is my Declaration of Independence for colored people within the United States of America. For, as the Constitution, or as the Declaration of Independence says, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one person to dissolve the political bands which we have connected them with another, to assume among the powers of the earth, to separate an equal station of which the laws of nature and of God, nature's gods entitle them a decent respect to the opinions of mankind, require that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Separation no more, not since the 60s. Let us come closer and closer and closer until we become one. One of love, one of dignity, and one of compassion for each other. That is my revolutionary war that I'm waging upon the United States, to behold the truths that we may find that their original truths the same as ours. As people of color, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Gracias.
You brought that fuego. That was awesome.
I wrote that.
I love that.
Very, very fast. Needs some polish, but I'm gonna work on it. It'll be all right. Anyways, if y'all want to follow me on like Instagram or something, you can follow me at vida_Marroquin. I'm about to put in the chat, you know. Yes, it's Marroquin, not Meryl Quinn, not Meryl Kwan. You know, gotta get it right, right?
awesome. You're a brilliant, brilliant star, honey. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what we do. We live our life, and we pursue our happiness and we achieve it every Thursday night because I know I am definitely happy. And for those out there that can't accept Spanish speaking, I'm like, where are you from? Colorado or Colorado, which means red? Or are you from Florida or you mean Florida, which means floral? Or are you from Montana or are you from montaña, which means mountain? Get your history right and stop building walls around your mind and around your heart and let us all unify. Thank you so much, New Eurekan Poets Cafe. It has been an amazing Thursday night. And I love all of you. Stay positive, stay creative, and stay powerful. ¡Mua! Desde New Yorico al todo el mundo, la bruja. Over and out. A New Yorico.